I'm scouting a piece of public property this morning that I've never set foot on, and I want to bring y'all along and show y'all exactly how I scout. What I'm going to do is an update on a map of an area with what I find as I go along so y'all can see what the areas look like. And at the end, I'll do my best to analyze the movement, the high traffic areas, and most importantly, the big buck sign from what I find. Anything that I find now will be used for next year. I'm using Onx to mark everything, and this may take several days because I've only got about 3 hours in the morning, so I don't know how many days this is going to take. But some people may not know where to start, so I like using aerial photos and topos to identify hard funnels, such as water boundaries like what I have right here, which is a lake. So I like to follow along the banks, the thicker area, till I pick up a feeder creek or a drainage and walk that. This is the middle of January, and this is the best time of the year because all the leaves are gone. It'll stand out at a greater distance than when everything leaves out in the spring. I use this for every area that's new to me. So that's enough talking. Let's see what I can find. So here's what I'm looking for rubs. I'm going to mark the smaller ones, but the bigger rubs, as we can see on that tree right there, is pretty decent. And I'm also looking for rub lines. I mean, look, this old deer, this old buck's coming right up in here. He's going to rub that one right there. And look at this right here. This is a tall rub. That's a good 3.5 feet from the bottom there. But looking right here, this is a tall deer. That rub is pretty high off the ground there. Try to figure out which way this deer is traveling, where it's coming from. I know they like to use an open trail, but with cover too. So let's see what else I can find. I ain't gonna mark every one, but I'm just gonna create a pin, some pins in here just to create a line so I can look at it later to see how it's traveling. As I put out a little short video, I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago or so, I don't remember exactly when it was, but it reached quite a few people, and there's quite a bit of discussion going on Hunter's Orange, and I just wanted to say something about it real quick. Here's what I got to say about it. If it's required to wear it by regulation or law, wear it. If it's not required to wear, but it makes you feel safer, wear it. I like to mark these persimmon trees when I find them. Not that they have any fruit on them right now, but it's just a spot that I know I can come back to next hunting season, early season, and check to see if any of it has any fruit on it. They may draw some deer in here. If you don't know what it looks like, it's kind of what your bark looks like. There's no fruit, there's no leaves right now. But this is what that bark looks like. It's kind of small little shapes in it, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. They're not long like some tree barks is. This one's got some small little ones, and there's usually more than one in an area. If you've got fruit dropping, and sometimes they're probably going to come up. So there's another one right back over there, and I've got a couple more right here behind me. And usually a place where I find these is where it's close to the edge of an opening. They like to grow on that edge. As far as browse goes, I'm not concerned with any browse. They can browse just about anywhere. So you may come up on an area and you're not finding, like a really large area that you're not finding any sign in. Just look around at the types of trees that are in there. I mean, we got pine trees right here, and right up here we got sweet gum. So there's not really a whole lot to eat up in here anyway. However, I did find an older rub, but this is the first bit of sign that I've seen in quite a while. I just wanted to thank Tide Weave for sending me these heated hunting clothes right here. They got heating elements in them. There's a battery that goes in this pocket for the top. There's another one over here for the bottom. And they'll keep those heating elements warm in there to keep me warm. Right now it's 9 degrees. The wind chill is well below zero. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I'm very warm. I've only got on a thin t-shirt right here, and the same thing I got on a thin pair of pants underneath these, and I don't feel anything. This guy got the wind coming in on me. I've got my back to the wind right now. I don't feel nothing, and it's keeping all this water off of me, so I am completely warm right now. I've had this thing out this year, using it quite a bit, sitting there on the ground, waiting on a deer for several hours coming along, 19 degrees, and it has really done the trick. Helps me to focus on watching the woods and not sitting there shivering like I have in the past. It blocks the wind, like I said earlier. Your body heat's going to stay in it. They're fairly warm, even without these on. Obviously today I've got these on high because it is pretty extreme cold right now. Put your little hand warmer in this pockets right here. Keep your hands warm if you need to. So if y'all are interested in these, I highly recommend it if you want to do some cold weather stuff. They work excellent. I absolutely love them. I'll leave a link in the description. Y'all can check it out if you want to. Now, this is probably the most important thing to find, in my opinion, is the bedding. You want to know where they're bedding at. So, and it's the hardest thing to find sometimes, but you definitely want to find where they're bedding at. That's just probably the main thing. Whether it's does or bucks, it's the hardest thing to find. So if I look right over here, we've got another spot. Now, this is definitely a bed, not a scrape. Look, we got another one right over there. There's another one right over there. So this is a bedding area. Looks fairly fresh. Maybe I'd bumped deer out of here this morning already and just didn't realize it. That happens. But I'm going to mark this as bed. And I'm just going to assume that they're licking on maybe this little tiny thing right here. It's been made probably this month, within a week or so. There's a deer track right there. So when I see that, that's probably tells me that there's some feeding activity going on up in here. And if I look right there, there's a nice big old white oak tree. I'm sure it ain't dropping now, but it may just be a travel corridor. But if we look down in here, there are acorns down in here. So looks like they're still feeding on acorns. So here we got another scrape. And a rub on this little sapling right here. Walk back over here. I don't know if that's a rub. It's definitely an old rub, but if you look right over here, there's a rub on that one. And I didn't walk very far from where I saw the two bigger rubs. So this is definitely a scrape line. So right here we got us a third scrape. Right here we see a very well-defined trail where they walk. I mean, very well-defined where they walk right out here into this opening. I can tell they walking out here. I mean, just look how churned up this place is. Pretty sizable tract down there. Definitely had the ends gnawed on. Pretty small little 8-point. Possibly an 8-point, that is. Who knows what the other side looks like. Here is an older scrape. There's a licking branch. Got some broken limbs right there, broken 2 places. That one over there is broken off completely. And over here looks like this is a little bit fresher one, but not too fresh, but another little bit of a scrape right here. This one looks fairly recent, but we got some pine needles in it. But we got some fresh scat right there. It almost looks like we're looking at 2 different deer, because we got this one is a little bit smaller. This one it looks a little bit bigger. And it's this one's hard mass, and this one's not quite as hard mass. Now this tree was probably here when Columbus discovered America, It might have even been here when Christ was crucified. This is a huge tree, which brings me to a short, sweet message that I'd like to share with y'all. You've all probably heard to be reverence to God, or show reverence to God by getting on your hands and knees when you pray. Well, here's something better that you can do. Show your reverence through obedience. There's no way to show better reverence.